Yeah, so here's where we left off. So we put that layer shader on the outer ring. So now let's take a quick render and see how that looks. So let me open up the render window here and let's go to the render options. And let's set the resolution back to 1K square. And we got the default lighting set up here. So yeah, let's just go here to render and say render with a perspective camera. Let's see how that looks. Alright, so what I see from here is that those numbers are not black, what they should be. So let's check out our Lambert shader. Let me go to open up hypershading as well. So the chrome works fine. That's what I see from here. So the chrome shader here is working alright. So let's go to the Lambert here and let's drop down the color here to black. And now let's take another render and see if that helps. Yeah. So now we have our black numbers here and the chrome and the background, and that's exactly what we wanted. So if you want to have some reflectivity on the black numbers here, we could change this from Lambert to Blinn or Phong or whatever we want to. Okay, so now let's just leave it like it is for now, and let's take care about the rest of our scene here. I just hit 5 on my keyboard to turn that texture off. Okay, let me go here to the channel box and let's think what we want to do next. So we have two pieces left that we have to shade. That's the one thing is the inner ring, and that's the thing we take care about now. And the other thing is the wristband, or the some parts of the wristband. All right, so now let's take care about that inner ring here. So let me go to low poly view here, and yeah, let's check out the UVs. So go to the UV texture editor, and we created those UVs earlier. So now we take a UV snapshot of this. So go in here on the polygons, say UV snapshot, and again we are using a 4K map, and we call this inner ring underscore out UV. And say OK. It should give us the message down here that it saved it out, so we can close the texture editor. So now we go in Photoshop again, and we will create a bump map. So let me pause the video and I will open up Photoshop. Yeah, here in Photoshop we bring in that UV snapshot, inner ring out UV. Let's bring that in, and in here we create some text, and yeah, we want to create the Rolex logo. So we take the text tool and we're using again the basketball old face font here. There it is, and let me drag that in. I think I need a bigger one here. So let me drag in bigger one like this, and then we want to give this a white color. That's alright, so type in capital letters Rolex. Okay, this obviously has to be scaled up, so let's try to give it a bigger font here. Let's try something like 300. It's still not big enough. Or first let me zoom in on that guy. So we have a fairly large UV snapshot here. That should help later on with the bump itself. So what we could do is, yeah, just give it something like 300. Let's try something 350. And let's check that out. Okay, let me quick switch to Maya and check out the inner ring. And the UVs are from Let me check out the UV texture editor here. So if I select those faces here in the UV texture editor, go to face here and select those. So it starts way up here. If I smooth that, yeah, so it's in between those lines. So let me go back to Photoshop. And let's drop that down here to 320. Like that. Yeah, that should work fine. And now we have to, if we say Control T, so hit enter. Yeah, we have to bring this right into the center here, and then we have to tweak that here a little bit. So let's try to bring this here a little bit wider, and let's dial this up here. Something like 150% should work fine, and this is set to 100 and this is set to 110. Yeah, let's try something like 100 here within this thing. Yeah, okay. Alright, so now let's bring it here. So I'm looking here at the edge here and the outer part here, so that this is the distance between this end here and this piece has almost the same distance here. Okay, so let me move that guy. So I'm using my arrow keys now and move this pixel by pixel. Okay, so something like this. And obviously we have to bend this guy. So if you click here on the text tool, you get up here the arc. So let's set it to arc. And this is way too much, so let's drop that down to a smaller number. Yeah, let's try something like +6 and bring that guy down. Say OK, so we can change this later on if we want to. So now let's move this guy down again to somewhere in the center here. Something like this. Okay, now we have the one piece done here. So we have now to copy this. So hold down Alt and Shift, and then you move it down here to almost the same position as it is up here. And we repeat the process here on both sides, and yeah, so that we have the Rolex text here on every piece of that UV snapshot. So let me pause the video and I'll be back when I'm done with that. So alright, so this took 1 or 2 minutes to finish that up. So now let's hide the background here. And now what we do is we create another layer, and then we fill that layer with black. So switch here to black and take the paint bucket tool and fill that layer with black. And now we have to bring that layer under our text here. So move it down here, somewhere about here. And so the layer 1 here, I can delete that. So that's what I created accidentally. Okay, so with that in place here, so we save this thing out here. So save as. We save this again as a targa. Inner ring bump map. Alright, save this out, and there you go. So now we can close Photoshop and go back to Maya and bring this bump map on a shader.